Well, I guess I'll go ahead and dedicate this video to Kyle Winfrey since he won't leave me the fuck alone about it. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. Drewski McGillicuddy, and I just wanted to let everybody know I've already spent 3 hours trying to make this video with this stupid thing right here, and this stupid thing right here, alright? And it filmed fine, but then it kind of looked like shit. I got it uploaded to the TV because I was going to download it to my phone so I could edit on my phone instead of this piece of shit computer that I got. That's the other thing. I got this piece of shit computer. But then got all that done, and the audio went for 5 seconds and then just cut off. And it was crisp, clean audio. But, you know, instead of going through all that bullshit hassle again, I figured, fuck it, we'll just use the phone. We'll just use the phone. But this time, I turned it around, so instead of it being a front-facing camera, I can't see anything. And then the audio is just going to have this echo to it. Everybody else talks about how, oh, I don't know, I think it sounds great. Well, I can hear it. I can hear the horrible audio. But that's all beside the point. I've brought you here today, like I said, because Kyle Winfrey has been bothering me for what seems like forever. Because I'm a terrible person and I don't hold up to my end of the bargain. When my patrons request stuff, I just go, oh yeah, I'll get to it in a year or two. So here we are, ready to talk about Tucker and Dale versus Evil from either 2010 or 2011. But before I get started with talking about the movie, I want to talk about the fact that this is one of the only movies in history that I saw the trailer for and immediately went out to buy it the day that it was released without seeing it. I mean, I'm not even sure if it came to theaters, but I remember I saw the trailer and then found out when it was coming out, and that Tuesday I was at Best Buy and I got my fancy discount. You know how if you go on Tuesday, you get it a couple dollars cheaper than if you wait till after the weekend and then the next. Don't worry about that, okay? Don't worry about that. Just worry about the fact that I could tell from the trailer, and that just goes to show you that this is one of the best trailers ever made. So anyway, I popped the movie in the other night, and as I was watching it, I started to notice how kind of relevant this is. This movie's a big analogy for the way you view people based on like the way they look or where you think they come from or the way they talk or whatever have you. Basically, so you got these college kids who are like, you know, these college kids, and then you got Tucker and Dale who kind of represent, you know, your normal everyday American just trying to go along and mind their own business. And then you get these people just accusing them of being these evil murderous type hillbillies, which is kind of like how society's starting to. Don't worry about that. We're not going to talk about that here, okay? You want to hear about that? Go watch my other videos. I mean, you would think after 3 years I'd finally know what the fuck I'm doing or be getting better at this. It's just like I'm getting worse. So anyway, Tucker and Dale versus Evil tells the story of Tucker and Dale, and they're fighting evil. But no, they're on their way to their new vacation home that they've recently purchased, and they're going to fix it up. You know, it's a fixer-upper, and they're going to fix it up, and that's where they're going to spend their vacations, fishing and drinking PBR. So eventually they cross paths with these college kids. I mean, they kind of run into them on the road, but then later on down the road, Tucker and Dale are picking up supplies and renting tools, like a wood chipper, a chainsaw, so they could go, you know, fix up this property. And then the kids are stopping there because they totally forgot to get the beer. Like that, like I said, the thing about this movie is like they take they take it the concept and twist it on its head. So instead of in case you haven't seen this movie, spoiler a little bit, instead of the hillbillies being the killers and the bad people, it ends up these college kids are so stupid that they get themselves killed because of the fact that they're so stupid. What I do like at the store when the college kids walk in, the storekeep looks at Tucker and says, "You see the way them kids look?" And it's just hilarious because, you normally, it's like if these Tucker and Dale would have walked into Hollister, it'd been the same thing, just reversed. You see what I'm saying? Are you getting what I'm throwing down? Because what I was trying to say is, these young people these days, they don't want to take the time to get to know somebody. They want to just find out one small detail about somebody or something that they just assume by looking at them and then think they've got that person pegged. When it turns out they don't know shit, but they start flapping off at the mouth, not having a damn clue as to what the fuck they're talking about. I want to talk about Chad. He's like the leader. He's the one taking these kids on this camping trip, I guess you would say. And you can tell right away off the bat that this guy's the biggest douchebag in cinema history. Like possibly even bigger douchebag than Trent from 2009's Friday the 13th. I mean, I damn sure'd say so. The guy's a douchebag, okay? Anybody that flips their collar on their polo is a douchebag, and you shouldn't associate with those types of people. You should look at them like, hey, just so you know, you look like a fucking asshole with your shirt like that. You fucking asshole-looking motherfucker. It, okay, we're just gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it, okay? And so another scene that happens to happen at the store is they're loading up, and Dale, catches this one college girl. I can't remember her name. I wasn't paying attention, but she's not really like the other ones. She's more, whatever. And he's got his eye on her, and Tucker says, "Dale, why don't you just go over and talk to her? Be yourself." And it's probably one of the funniest scenes in the entire movie. As a matter of fact, I met Tyler Labine at Horror Hound, and I have a picture of him holding the sickle, and I had him personalize it and say, "You kids going camping?" And that's the other thing. I've actually got to hang out with Tyler Labine, not for very long. What happened was, as I paid $20 to have my picture taken with him, and then after we got out to the car or whatever, I went back to look at the pictures. His handler had taken like a picture, but she must have been like doing this because it was all blurry. So I happened to see Tyler standing outside the hotel as we were going back to the party, and I walked up to him, was like, "Hey man, you owe me $20. He's like, "What are you talking about, man?" I said, "Paid $20 to have a picture and looks like this." And I showed it to him. He's like, "Oh, well, we can't have that." And hopefully I can find the pictures that we took together. If not, I might have to just wait till later to edit this video. Who knows? Who knows? The point is, we was having a good time. Hell, he probably would have invited us up to his hotel room because we was cutting the breeze or shooting the breeze, and then some drunk idiot comes over talking crazy, stupid shit and scares him off. And I'm not kidding. This is the craziest, stupidest shit that I've ever heard anybody say to another person. We're standing there taking our pictures, and this dude comes up, puts his arm around Tyler, and says, "My girlfriend wants you to rape her, dude." The fuck's wrong with you? They're going and they're gonna fix up this old fixer-upper. It's a fixer-upper. And, late one night, the college kids are off skinny dipping and they're off fishing, and they come across each other's paths again. And then Tucker's staring at the girl or whatever, and Dale's like, "Oh, Tucker," and she catches him, falls in the water, and doesn't come up, so they rescue her. And as they're rescuing her, they tell their friends, like, "Hey, we got your friend." They take it as, "Hey, we got your friend," and then, assumes that they're just eating her face because they was giving her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And so Chad, since he's already got this problem with hillbillies because of something that happened in his past, he just jumps on the assumption that these people are evil and they're going to kill what's-her-name, so they have to go rescue what's-her-name. What? Allison. Jesus Christ. And see, she's helping me all the way from the other room. Anyway, they go to rescue Allison, but every time they try to rescue Allison, because of the fact that they're so damn stupid, they keep getting themselves killed. Like, you've seen the instance where Tucker's chainsawing into the hornet's nest, and he gets a face full of bees, or hornets. I guess there would be hornets in a hornet's nest. And he starts running with the chainsaw, and I guess the only reason he's still doing that is because he figures it'll scare the hornets off. I don't know, but this kid thinks he's chasing him with a chainsaw, and then he impales himself on a big old stick. And then other crazy shenanigans ensue, such as that. One kid even throws themselves into a wood chipper. And it's like the funniest conversation. They're breaking down the scenario. It's like, what are we going to tell the authorities? Because they know, somebody's going to come because of these kids. And he says, well, let's tell them the truth. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, well, officer, we've had a doozy of a day. Here we were minding our own business when all these college kids just started killing themselves all over my property. And he says, he's going to think you have to be some kind of moron to believe a story like that. Well, then here it comes. The kids find help, take the sheriff back to the cabin, and they're happening to be dragging the half guy, the guy that's only got half of him left. They're dragging him, and sure enough, if it ain't seen word for word verbatim what they talked about, he says, well, officer, we've had a doozy of a day. Here we were, minding our own business, when all these kids just started killing themselves all over our property. And he even says, I'd have to be some kind of moron to believe a story like that. And it's comical. It's comical. I like it. That's how I review my movies. I tell you a favorite scene, and then I talk about how much I love it. And while we're talking about favorite scenes or favorite whatever, the part where Chad eventually gets the officer's gun after a really funny incident with the officer, gets a board to the face, and I love it because he looks like he's going to walk it off. But anyway, so Chad gets the gun, and then he threatens Jangers, and Dale's response is just fucking priceless. If I didn't find it, you know what he says. If you hurt my dog, I get real mad. And I would too, because Jagger's he's just a sweet little dog. So anyway, the rest of the movie happens. These kids continue killing themselves off one by one because they're fucking stupid. And then Allison tries to get Chad and Dale to sit down and reconcile with one another. She tries to be the voice of reason. But you know how it is with, like, you got the left and the right, and they're like both fucking stupid, and then you got the people in the middle that got fucking common sense, and they try to get them to sit down, and then the right will start coming along with the plan, and then there's a distraction, and then the left just crumbles it all, and there goes any possibility of peace, tranquility, and unity. And this movie came out in 2010. And it's still just as relevant today because this is basically how society is. Like, take a look at this movie, and this is how society is unfolding. You got people just not wanting to sit down and have a conversation. They just want to spout off their stupid-ass opinion while these people are spouting off their stupid-ass opinion. And it's just a bunch of stupid people running off the fucking mouth. Yeah, I got all that from this movie. Then we find out that Chad comes from a long line of hillbillies. Actually, that's not right. We find out that there was like some kind of St. Valentine's Day or St. Patty's Day or some kind of Saints Day massacre in which these hillbillies had killed his father and had their way with his mother, and now his father is one of the people that had his way with his mother. But don't worry about that. Worry about the fact that this motherfucker is out of his goddamn mind. I mean, if you couldn't tell already by the fact that he had his fucking collar popped on his fucking shirt, by now, at this point in the film, you can tell that he's the fucking evil they're talking about when it says Tucker and Dale versus evil. So, Tucker, poor Tucker, man. I mean, he gets the fucking bees, and he gets the shit beat out of him, gets knocked out, and then he gets his fucking bowling fingers chopped off. I mean, it's fucking terrible. So, anyway, Chad takes Allison and he's going to saw her in half, but it's not for a magic trick. It's because he's fucked in the head. So, Dale, being the sweetheart that he is, he goes and he gears up in this like fancy little montage. And then next thing you know, he's ready to go. And wouldn't you know it, he rescues her. Okay, whatever. Spoiler alert. And then, you know, the end of the movie. But, I mean, come on now. Y'all have seen this movie. You know what happens. You know what it is. You know that this movie is a modern cult classic. That's what I'm giving it. It's a modern cult classic. Can't put a number on something like this. I mean, you can't. It's like a... Anyway, I'm spent. It's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been working on this for the past fucking since I got home from fucking work. So, hopefully this time I get something salvageable and y'all enjoyed what you've seen. And if you did, you know, and the audio didn't bother you too much, make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you're new here for more random nonsense. And you can comment below. Let me know your feelings and thoughts on this movie, on how good or bad of a job I'm doing. You know, it really means a lot for y'all to comment down below. But anyway, also, if you want to help me get some equipment that I can figure out how to use, there's the Patreon link. It only takes $1 a day. Just pretend I'm like one of those special causes you see late night on television. You know, call this 1-800 number. Except instead of a 1-800 number, it's a fucking link to a Patreon page. I can't do this anymore.